What actually changes when your income goes from $25,000 a year to 2 million? Not just the number in your bank account, your stress, your relationships, your daily choices, even how you sleep at night. I broke down real income levels to show you exactly what life looks like at each one. Some of this will surprise you. Stick around for the middle, that's where things get interesting, not the top. Before we start, this isn't about flexing or shaming anyone's income. Where you land depends on your field, your city, your stage of life, and honestly, a lot of luck. The goal here is simple: show you the real trade-offs at each level, so wherever you are right now, you know what's actually ahead and what isn't. Let's start at $25,000 a year. After taxes, that's roughly $1,700 a month in most places. Rent alone can eat 60 to 70% of that if you're in a mid-sized city. At this level, budgeting isn't optional, it's survival. Every unexpected expense, a car repair, a medical bill, can throw off the entire month. But here's what people miss. A lot of people here are not broke by choice. They're students, early career workers, or in fields that simply don't pay much yet. The stress is real, but so is the room to grow. 45,000 is where a lot of full-time entry-level jobs land. You've got a bit more breathing room, maybe your own apartment, a modest car payment, the occasional night out without guilt. But savings are still tight. Most people here are putting away 5 to 10% if they're disciplined, and that's before an emergency fund is fully built. The mental shift is huge, though. You go from, can I afford this, to, should I afford this? That's a different kind of stress. 75,000 is often called the happiness plateau, and there's real research behind that idea. Around this range, in most cities, day-to-day financial stress drops significantly. You can cover essentials, save consistently, and still have money for things you enjoy. This is where a lot of people start actually building wealth retirement contributions. Maybe a first home down payment. It's not luxury, it's stability. And stability does more for happiness than most people expect. At 120,000, you're solidly in what most people would call comfortable. Nicer apartment or a home, more travel, less price checking at the grocery store. But here's the twist, this is also where lifestyle creep quietly kicks in. People here often report feeling just as financially stressed as those making 75,000, simply because their spending expanded to match. A bigger paycheck doesn't automatically mean more peace of mind, it depends entirely on what you do with the gap. 200,000 a year puts you in a different category, top 10% of earners in most countries. You've likely got real savings, maybe investments, more freedom in daily choices. But something interesting happens here too. Taxes take a much bigger bite, and in high cost of living cities, 200,000 can feel a lot more like 80. Where you live now matters almost as much as what you earn. At 350,000, you're usually looking at senior specialists, business owners, or dual high-income households. This is where real wealth building accelerates aggressive investing, maybe a second property, better schools if you have kids. But time becomes the real currency here. Most people at this level are working long hours or running something demanding. The money is real, but so is the trade-off: less time, more responsibility, higher expectations from everyone around you. 750,000 a year is rare, top 1 to 2%. At this level, day-to-day money stress is essentially gone. The bigger questions shift to things like tax strategy, long-term planning, and how to raise kids who don't take any of this for granted. Interestingly, people here often describe a new kind of pressure maintaining it. Income at this scale is frequently tied to a business, a role, or a market that can change. The fear isn't, can I pay rent? It's what happens if this disappears. And finally, 2 million a year. This is genuinely rare air. At this point, money buys almost total flexibility: where you live, how you work, who you spend time with. But multiple studies on high earners point to the same finding. Beyond a certain point, more money keeps adding options, but it stops reliably adding happiness. The people who report being happiest at this level aren't the ones chasing the next million. They're the ones who figured out what actually matters to them and just happen to have the resources to do it. So what's the real takeaway from 25,000 to 2 million? Life doesn't get infinitely better. The more you earn, it gets different. The stress just changes shape. At the bottom, it's about survival. In the middle, it's about discipline. At the top, it's about meaning and keeping what you built. Wherever you are on this list right now, the goal isn't to compare yourself to the next level up. It's to build the kind of stability and freedom that actually fits your life. Where are you on this list? Drop it in the comments, no judgment. If this gave you a new way to think about money, hit subscribe. I break down stuff like this every week. See you in the next one.